Yes, yes, dear one. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2 to the 2 to the 3 to the 3. There's one book I need. I shall return. Let me make you a host. I just have one book to grab. Let's make you a co-host. Co-host. Better be bye 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 bye. Co-host. Jacinta is now the co-host. Tell people I'll be right back. Okay. Let's give the computer some juice. Okay. All right. Tina's in his house. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. How do I sound? Let's get some housekeeping knocked out here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me pin myself. All right. Boom. Welcome, Tina. Yes. Let me get my chat up, Jacinta. Sounds great. And Krayab. Give thanks for the incredible ways that we can connect. Okay. Oh. Oh. Golden nugget just presented itself. All right. Our family usually gathers around the fire. They start to trickle in, so let's virtually let them know the doors are open. The doors are open. Gather around this fire of love. So, yeah, there's P to the L. You let your brother in, Jacinta. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let me do a little housekeeping with these notifications here before we dive in. Do me a favor. I love this intimate flow. Yes, yes. J to the M made it in. We got J to the L, T to the M, J to the M, P to the L. Look at the weave going on with the frequencies. Okay, let me put my session is in order signal up. Okay, that housekeeping is done. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Coming on in around the fire of love. Do me a favor, throw up 1 or 2 words and let me know where your head space is, your heart space is. My heart is yes. Yes, Miss Juliet. If you're in Alabama, they say Miss Juliet, Miss Tina, Miss Jacinta, Mr. Philip. They call me Mr. Aka, or as my mother named me, Mr. Charles, as he has to deal with legal matters nowadays a whole lot. So he's been activated. So my heart is grieving a bit. We'll talk about navigating through those energies. Tell me how your heart or your mind or both are doing. You can give me a couple of words. Those always gives that signal and frequency of our souls being in conversation with regard to what our mind is bringing forth as a way to describe the experience taking place. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. It's time to get cranking, I believe. I feel the signal. I feel the fire saying, open up the doors of this sacred space. So let's do that. Let's bring our palms together as I officially welcome you to our Sacred Wednesday service. And this is where we gather around the fire of love. All are welcome to examine under that light the teachings, the ancient teachings and practices that have come to allow us to navigate through this time, being empowered by the experience of life. And that's the essence of our time together. Got some juiciness for you, not just because it's me, it's just the time of the year. It's very juicy and potent. Just like the beginning of a day and when the sun goes down and moving into the night, juicy times of the day. All right, closing your eyes, palms are pressing into each other, bringing the signal of balance to the nervous system. One way in which we use and engage the energy of pressure and stress, when we consciously use it, we can engage it according to its design and creation. And sometimes it overflows into the design of creating stories out of that pressure and tension. And it starts to become different things like anxiety, overwhelm, overstimulated. For now, we settle ourselves in to stillness. Feel how gravity is allowing you to be still. Wherever you're sitting, however you are sitting, just notice your contact points on the earth and sense your stillness. Allow the mind to slow down and focus on your contact points with Mother Earth. And as we slip into awareness of the stillness, begin to sense the emergence of your awareness, focusing upon the movement of life, generated by the flow of your breath. Gently inhaling, deeply, gently, completely, and exhaling, gently and completely. Allowing the mind to focus on the movement of life before any labels, just the intelligence that is allowing this breath to flow in and out of this being, igniting an energy of life in this being that can be intelligently accessed to experience life. All of that unfolding without any thought from the mind. So just focus the mind on the movement of the breath. As we prepare to tune in with the sound current that emerged out of that movement, the frequency of AUM. And for anyone here that hasn't used that sound current, and for anyone that may see this later, We use the sound current to vibrate into being the origin of the creative intelligence. All on one breath, I'll demonstrate. We lift the muscles of the pelvic floor if it's comfortable before we generate the sound. Oh. And then we'll smoothly flow in on that breath and we'll move into the U sound where there's a sense of the navel point lifting. Ooh. Feel the diaphragm lift, feel the energy rising. And then the circulation of that infinite creative potential flowing freely in the heavenly centers of our energy system. So sense the vibration. Flow as we inhale together. Exhale. Inhale to begin. Top of the inhale, lifting the muscles of the pelvic floor, beginning with the sound ah. Oh, opening the throat, tongue drops into the bottom of the mouth. Oh. Oh. Feeling the movement of the sound through the body. Oh. 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 Last one at a lower volume. Oh. Inhale deeply. Sensing the presence. Hold the breath. If it's comfortable for you, lift the muscles of the pelvic floor. Sense yourself as this vibratory container. The root of your being. As you exhale, bring the hands into the mudra, the hand position of self-knowledge. Thumb and index finger touching. Let the palms face up and rest on your thighs. Ah, how's that feel, family? How's that feel for tuning in? Ooh, yes. Mm. You know what it is that causes the heart and the feelings of the body to well up in ways that may feel like sadness or but looking into it, um, it really brings home our topic today, which is um, created by this time, being present to the power of presence, then you are the gift. Then you are the gift. Coming present to that thought that everything that's going on right here underneath your skin and out here, how you are connected to the cosmos with this breath, everything going on is allowing you to be a gift in this moment to this realm. Gift to yourself, radiating out to a gift for others. And what if that was really the essential essence of this time approaching the Grand Cross, the Holy Cross, which is a celestial event around planetary movements, around the sun, after the winter solstice, coming to this place of stasis in the sky, where the ancient ones were saying that the sun is not moving. If it's not moving, then the metaphor, it has gone into a death cycle. That even the celestial body that brings us warmth and light and allows the biosphere to exist has this cycle of movement and non-movement in the appearance to our consciousness. So this aspect of stillness is strongly in our teaching today being associated with stillness. If we think of the cycle of the year, it could also be the cycle of the month, associated with the cycle of the week, associated with the cycle of the day, associated with the cycle of the minute, associated with the moment. That presence that you are. Is potent with the infinite creative potential that was there in the beginning with the stillness between consciousness and prana. And if that is so, as we get glimpses of this truth, if we look in other disciplines like quantum physics and Nassim Harameyn's work, you should check him out. He's discovered a formula that describes the power of the black hole. And then as they were examining subatomic particles and examining creation, they realized every particle of creation has a black hole. It's part of the construct of matter. And each particle has the same amount of energy as the whole. And now, what is the implication of that? Should we just dwell in the awareness of this software, or the application of consciousness that psychologists, psychiatrists, neuroscientists, quantum physicists have described as the mind? Should that be the experience of our life? what the mind conjures up or what it agrees to in terms of labels that describe the experience of life. In the newsletter, we were inspired to write, and I say we because I'm in this part grieving, part celebratory mode with ancestors and a new ancestor that I will talk about, I have talked about through the course of doing this circle. But there is an inspiration of a metaphor around the consciousness of nature embodied as a caterpillar, moving into the metamorphosis that allows it to grow wings. Such a powerful metaphor to go from being completely grounded with how many pairs of feet, if you call them feet, on the earth. You think of a caterpillar and how many feet it has. It's really an emphasis of what it is to be earthly bound, this caterpillar. And at the same time, its consciousness just consumes. Instinctually is designed to consume. And it just goes about its way of consuming nature. Its primary directive is just consuming. Of course, there's purpose to that consumption, especially in nature, but as a metaphor, in our very earthly nature, where is it in you where you unconsciously consume? In terms of thinking of the training we have as this, modern world began with Greece and this idea of power, and commerce, and control, how it has evolved over the years. This time of year when we're moving from the fall, and in the medical Qigong studies, the Taoist interpretation of the energy centers of the body and nature around us, the fall is a time of study and a time of harvest. And you study the harvest because it helps you to know how you worked during the summer. It helps you to know what seeds you planted in the spring. Was it appropriate to plant those seeds? Think of this metaphorically now. And then in wintertime, you meditated on what you were going to plant. And that was the energy of flow. Winters for meditation, spring for planting the seeds that you meditated upon, and the inspiration of your soul brought forth the signs and signals. Plant these, my child. And then you come to summer and you work what you planted. Sun is high, you got time to work. And then you reap the benefits of your work. You harvest. And then you study the harvest. You study your year. You study yourself. Where do you need to shift? Because it's a time of a shift. Life is moving more into the earth, moving more into its core, nature, the trees. Energy is moving more into the core. And then the winter solstice comes, darkest time of the year, a time when the unconscious, the subconscious is dwelled upon, is dived into. It's a time where we let go and we allow ourselves to go into the metaphorical death with the sun. We go into meditations, 3 days, so we go into a fasting. We remove the stimulation from the outside world and we go in. We go in. So this idea of the caterpillar as a metaphor, hopefully you'll remember it as you flow into your cocoon. Because that winter solstice is a cocooning time. It's where you no longer get the stimulus. It's no longer the caterpillar. And one thing I want to quickly add about that caterpillar is that I said in the newsletter, that caterpillar, when the signal to become a butterfly happens, it's not the mind of the caterpillar that is initiating the signal to say, oh, ding, 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 the alarm goes off, it's time to become a butterfly, and everybody's in alignment with it, and here off we go. becoming a butterfly. No, it's different than that. The immune system of the caterpillar attacks the cells that are coming online to become the butterfly, as if the consciousness of the caterpillar is not recognizing the consciousness of a butterfly that it is to become. So when you get that signal from your soul, it's time to shift. It's time to change. It's time to let go of this. It's time to convert that to this. It's time to go into a fast. It's time to go into a meditation. It's time to breathe more. And you start hearing that kickback. Go into the cocoon of the moment. And just like we tuned in, just get still a moment and take a deep breath. That kickback could show up like a craving for any type of stimulation that you know in this moment, being present to the power of presence, and you're getting the inspiration, even if you're here and you're listening to these words, they're just not coming out for entertainment. You know, they're coming out because we are present together, and they are emerging to acknowledge our presence. And then, oops, I spelled then, I spelled T-H-A-N instead of T-H-E-N, but then you recognize the gift that you can be for yourself. As I tell my daughter, I say no to you, so you will know how to say no to yourself. Because people are they're gonna want to give you things, to draw your attention to things because of what they want, not necessarily that they really care about you. So to be aware of how we get involved in various stimulatory, is that a word? I think I made it up. To be involved in stimulatory activities, right? When, whether it's social media or whether it's, I saw an advertisement about binging on Netflix, just this word binging, which is the very prime example of the teaching in Chinese medicine. Excess leads to deficiency. And here is the advertisement, adverting our attention away from our meditation and into binging. What a society we live in. We thank this society for allowing us to be present, bringing that challenge to us. So as we have these various challenges in life, as I was speaking to you about what appeared to be a challenge of sadness and grief. But as I was sitting with my elder brothers in our men's circle Monday night, and I heard the word of a teacher that I've been longing to study with, and I've been, reading his writings. His name is Malidoma Some, and just got the word that he made his transition somewhere around the 1212 portal, as you would expect a medicine man from the Dogara tribe of West Africa to do. But I want to read to you what he says as he brings the teachings from his people around the importance of here we are gathered intimately as a community. He talks about the healing that the community witnesses, and therefore the witnessing allows a belonging. And that belonging, being seen and being heard, being willing, right? Being willing to be seen. So the community not only sees you, hears you, and allows you a space to belong, as in our circle around this fire of love, but we get a chance to initiate the willingness. Catch this, family. The willingness to be heard, which means we're going to initiate something from the imaginal cells coming online to express. We're going to be willing to be seen. We're going to move ourselves. We're going to be in the movement of life and be seen. and willing to belong. Right? So there's two sides to it as he teaches about the two sides of life, right? Because the next aspect, so you have community, that as I have been reading him, understanding the witnessing of the community allows for the healing. And then the witnessing and the participation of the community in ritual allows the opening of the technology of ritual. You get up every morning at 4:30 to 5 a.m. You drop into your stillness, you drop into your breath work, you drop into your movement that guides you, given to you by your soul. You do your writing, and then you move in to the day, right? You move into the day and into the flow. And there comes that energy of being aware of what you are present to, being aware of the gifts inside you that we need, being aware of those energies, being aware of that. Let me read you what I'm just curious. Now, if you ever have a heavy heart about anything, I get curious. So I'm curious how what's moving me so deeply when it comes to, as we would say, having a new ancestor in the form of Malidoma Somé. Before we go into our breath work, I want to read what he talks about in terms of the way to view the experience of life from an indigenous perspective. So take a deep inhale with me. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And just come into that stillness. Sensing the presence. And see if you can hear your heartbeat. And then go deeper inside and sense the giver of the rhythm to your heart. Imagine that space is available to be aware of, going deeper in. This is the metaphor of the cocoon. You're going deeper within. The metaphor of this time from 12/12 to the winter solstice, a time of going in, recognizing the gift of life within. So listen to these words. Indigenous people see the physical world as a reflection of a more complex, subtler, and more lasting, yet invisible entity called energy. So breathe that in for a moment to consider energy as an entity full of intelligence. Full of infinite creative potential. And you are an embodiment of it. It is as if we are the shadows of a vibrant and endlessly resourceful intelligence dynamically involved in the process, catch this, of continuous self-creation. Continuous self-creation. Catch that now. Any labels that you have, that your mind has associated you with, has associated your identity with, imagine the core of your being. When you're looking into this inner space, it is a space of continuous self-creation. There's no stagnant energy here. Nothing happens here that did not begin in the unseen world. Let that sink in, y'all. Nothing happens here. There's a beginning to the experience. I want you to catch that. There's a beginning to the experience of becoming a butterfly. What are the ways we can let go and allow, knowing that we are one with this intelligence of life? So I can experience the grief, but I can let go and allow the energy of realizing my mind construes that I missed my opportunity to study with him. I mean, really feel that. You are the gift of creativity because you are creator, and therefore you are the expression of the creative process. Yes, thank you, team. These stories we create. We're using our creative power and we're limiting it to what society has taught us to label. Can we go beyond the labels and recognize directly who you are? Being present to the power of the presence, that's playing the rhythm of your heart that the lungs are dancing for. And then, THEN, then you are that gift when you focus on it, because where we direct the chi, the mind is indirect, like it has the ability to direct it. So, and then we have the ability as the core being to direct the mind. It's important to remove the distractions. And that's why we have the angel of consciously breathing. The angel of consciously breathing will allow us to be present. Why? Because the breath is present. The mind I'm pointing here, but who knows where, who knows it is a fixed place where the mind dwells to gather the data that's been collected through the nervous system and then create meaning out of that. Listen what he says. If something in the physical world is experiencing instability, it is because its energetic correspondent has been experiencing instability. Breathe that in. Breathe that in. Therefore, people that, wait, hold on. The indigenous understanding is that the material and physical problems that a person encounters are important. Check it out. Check this. Only because they are an energetic message sent to the visible world. The caterpillar is just getting an energetic message. It's time to become a butterfly. And here's where we come in, where we can move into that place of awareness before the wiring of an instinct and use it to stay aware of ourselves as energy. Here's your assignment. Stay aware of yourselves as energy rather than just human. How do I do that, Akka? Focus on your breath and be still before you label something. Feel it, sense it, and say to yourself, I am energy. What is this energy for? We had a series of circles where we were receiving the teaching around priming the brain to open up to inspiration, intuition, and the inner guidance from the invisible world by saying, how can I use this energy to serve my soul? Somebody write that down. How can I use this energy to serve my soul? Going to your breath and asking that question will drop you into the inner space of the invisible world. You'll move out of the reactionary flow that society has taught us, especially when we come to the unknown. How can I use this energy to serve my soul? Right? Somebody write that down for me, for us. So that's one way to get still. And be with the message, the energetic message. Thank you, Jacinta. Therefore, people go to that unseen energetic place to repair whatever damage or disturbances are being done there, knowing that if things are healed there, things will be healed here. Ritual is the principal tool used to approach that unseen world. In a way that will rearrange the structure of the, did you hear this now? Come on, rearrange the structure of the physical world to bring about material transformation. So if there's fear of opening to vulnerability in terms of allowing a relationship to establish itself with another, then that is a message. It's not a disturbance here between a person challenged by vulnerability. It's happening in the unseen world. And to hear that message is for us gathered around this fire of love, walking as spiritually empowered beings. That's why we gather, to recognize we are spiritually empowered by the experience of life, spiritually, energetically, spiritual energy. We are empowered by the experience. And how do we become empowered? Become present to the power. The energy is the power. The creative energy is the power. And it's there for us. It's there for us. It's coming right to you in form of consciousness and prana as you inhale and you exhale. So really developing that intimate relationship with the angel of conscious breathing. That angel that will come to you and bring you all the information you need based on, just like when you like somebody and you both know you like each other and you both gave each other your phone numbers, but if nobody calls the other, how's there going to be any connection to the reason for the awakened energy that you both sense, right? The caterpillar cells are awakening the body of the caterpillar, the butterfly cells, the imaginal cells are coming online. They're coming online to enliven, to transform existence, where you no longer have to crawl about. Because when you come out of the cocoon, now you're at another level of participating in nature. You're not just chewing up things and pooping them out and creating fertilizer and just instinctually consuming, right? Just consuming, buy people gifts. But can we challenge them when we go into our families? Can we challenge them to speak about the gift that they are coming to be in 2022 or right now in the present? The gift that you come to be. If there's something to communicate with somebody and work through the insecurities together, right? Because now that deepens the connection of the relationship. If there's a liking between the two, if there's an energy attraction between two people, then let them speak, let them communicate, create, right? Let them come to that artful place where it's not about what you ate, but it's about what you create and what you communicate to be nourishing to yourself and other. Notice that what you communicate can be nourishing to yourself and other. Do you notice that? I'm not saying there's something wrong with giving gifts, but just look at the polarities of going through the energy of tuning into someone, giving them a physical gift. This energy of exchange. It's beautiful. That's communing. Yeah. Now, what if we're asking to go a bit deeper with all the circumstances that are taking place? Just like an intimate relationship that has the potential to develop, what about the intimate relationship that has the potential to develop based on the challenges that we're facing? So me as an example, I said I wanted to work with Malidoma Somé. Something about the way he said things created an intimate connection to the invisible world, to the spiritual world, to the energetic world. And now he's on the other side, right? So my grief can carry me into, oh, I have an opportunity to interact with him in the spirit world. He knows the spirit world very well. Therefore, getting in touch with him, there should be no issues unless I create them with my mind, going into the energy of grief as we were trained. But what about the energy of grief that is the letting go and coming into stillness and looking at how we can respond to life? If it is about losing a loved one, we can honor their presence in our life and miss them, not denying any experience. But what experience do you have the opportunity to focus upon that will allow you to be empowered by the experience of life? Because as he said, it's a message. And what's the message in the discomfort, in the suffering, in the pain, in the experience that is bringing up so many stories that we might attach to the past as the origin of feeling this way now? Like I can say that pattern of, grieving is really grieving not having a father figure. I can get into it, or getting still. So the assignment, as we come to this place of stillness, I want you to bring your palms up towards the heart. Let me know how you're doing. You all right out there? So as we come towards our moment to connect with this life force that we are virtually imagining and igniting a conscious awareness of this fire of love. And that fire is at the core of every cell. It is at the core of the intelligence that plays the rhythm of your heart and the rhythm of your lungs. More like the lungs are dancing to that rhythm of the heart. Every cell is ignited with this fire of life, this fire of love in the mitochondria. This fire keeps us at 98.7 degrees. Begin to allow this energy to gather around the heart center, between the palms. Even as you inhale, feel as though you are inhaling from the sun of creation, the energy of life, from all the stars. Maybe you have favorite stars. And as you exhale through the palms, and you fill this orb with life force. Follow me now. Begin to inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale out the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Hold that breath a moment. Sense the stillness. Sense the energy of life, the energy of the sun, illuminating the darkness within. Exhale out the mouth. Hold the breath out. And now we're going to take 3 segments of breath in through the mouth, like so. Exhale out the nose in 3 segments. And the energy between your hands. In the nose. Out the mouth. In the mouth. Out the nose. In the nose. Out the mouth. In the mouth. Get more dynamic with it now. Out the nose. In the nose. Flex the spine a bit. Out the mouth. In the mouth. Out the nose. In the nose. Out the mouth. Last cycle in the mouth. Out the nose. Last inhale through the nose. Hold. Feel the opening. Feel the release of energies you no longer need. Feel the angel of conscious breath releasing patterns. Imagine they're being pulled out, your cords are being released as you exhale, one long breath out the mouth. Bring the palms towards each other without touching, cupping your orb of life force. As you sit in the stillness, feel this orb and feel the orb of your aura grow around you, stronger and more evident in your awareness. And right here, right now, in the presence, grow in your awareness of this energy of life that is taking care of you. And as you realize that, become aware of how you are loved, how you are given an opportunity to be seen, to be heard, and to belong to life. The body may express discomfort. The mind may conjure up stories that create thoughts that generate feelings that are uncomfortable. But at the core of your being, you are being allowed to create the experience you focus upon. That focus being a choice. And even though you may feel a certain way, even though the body may be expressing pain, discomfort, or apparently appearing to be out of alignment, remember it's all a message from the invisible realm. Now the practice is to get still and listen to the message. And that process of listening may carry you into consciously breathing. It may carry you into your yoga, your qigong, your tai chi, your fasting. It may indicate to you what is needed. What seeds you need to plant. That is the meditation we're dropping into. So your assignment is to consciously breathe. From the time you become aware on your pillow that you are waking up, to the time you return your head to the pillow at the end of the day, and you begin to let go of consciousness. Focus on your breath. How am I breathing? Could be a way to get into it. What was I thinking about that caused me not to think about my breath? Training the muscle of focus is what that exercise is about. Training to move into ways to be protected from distraction. That is the angel of consciously breathing. As you dive into being the present or being present to the power of presence. It is that breath. Then you are the gift. You are the gift of healing if that's what needs to take place. And you are the example and gift to others. Begin to feel the energy between your palms. And being present to this energy, feel the power of this gift as you draw it into your heart center. feeling this energy of life. Another way to become present is to talk to yourself inside here. This space is really potent around the winter solstice. It's a deeply creative space, as you heard the teachings of Maladoma from the indigenous perspective. The invisible realm creates the physical. The work of Dr. Joe Dispenza is a prime example of that as well. So you can follow him and listen to the testimonials of people that are going through those meditations, but they're doing the meditations just like us, just a little longer. So as we begin to close our session today, stay tuned, because I keep getting images of creating a way to drop into an immersion together and practice dissolving the distractions and how they show up, how we get adverted to it. When you think about the tongue, we create words with it, and we also experience life in a very intimate way through flavor. So stay tuned, because there's something bubbling around cleansing and detoxing the taste buds as a way to come into internal focus, as a way to come present to the power of presence. And then allow the gift to emerge. So I also put in your hands, hold the vision for what it is to be in a society where all beings are respected, all beings respect each other, all beings are allowed to be seen, to be heard, and it's done in a balanced way. It's done in a way that is in harmony with nature. What will that look like for society to be guided by love, to be guided by the attributes of creation, where all beings are respected and honored and allowed to have clean water and the shelter that is appropriate for their environment, the clothing that is appropriate for their environment and the fulfillment of their being, right? And ways to develop, grow, and learn. What is that feeling, living in that environment, that global community? I challenge you to vision into this, maybe write into it, and let us step into this power of the presence within. Thank you, Creator. Thank you for guiding these hearts together to reflect this fire of love out into creation, to embody this fire of love for all the cells of these bodies. Thank you so much for this opportunity to live, grow, and prosper, to create with love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Forgive us for any way we separate ourselves from you. We thank you for this opportunity to live. We love you, we love you, we love you, we love you. And we especially see all children being taken care of in every way that you determine possible. Because if the children are taken care of with love, then that means the family has established itself in a loving environment and expression. We ask that this go out to all our family and all our relations. All right, family. So beautiful to be with you. You know, I'm feeling a little selfish. I like our intimate flow, but I'm also feeling the call that more people need to know about it, and I need to open up my mouth about it. So that is about to happen. I'm so grateful to all of you for being here. Keep creating, right? Keep creating, keep tuning in. All right, beloveds. One love. Yeah, thank you for being here, Tina. Beautiful. Thank you, Juliet. So powerful. Jill, You came. I was in such a vibe, didn't even notice. Thank you for being here, dear beings. All right. We got that weave of love going. So keep weaving, Sacred One. Until next Wednesday, if it's the Creator's will, we will be here together. Until then, keep tuning in to the presence of love.